You shot at Buddy. Buddy kept it street. Took your ass to college. That's what happened. Buddy can't wait to see your ass. Oh, I'm in college. I'm in school now. Now, lay it down. Since you thought you got away.
YouTube, what's good, family? It's Maso Money back with another video. So today's video is titled "Great Players Know They Role." And y'all, as y'all know, like, I do sports and basketball, but low key, like my other channel, I do like, I kind of am halfway in the streets, halfway out the streets. But I ain't trying to run into the streets where life is hard, right? So the topic of this video is really important because it's like, in life, that goes for everything. I also run a business, which is a media business. I'll go more into that later in this video. But great players know their role, right? You know, I was having a deep conversation with one of my friends, and an important thing that we was talking about was like, when your business stagnates, sometimes you'll be the boss and be trying to treat it like you the employee, right? And it's like, man, like, it's hard to tell these people who working for me, to tell these business partners, like, this is my fee and this is what has to be done. Tell them, like, I need you to get this work done for me because I'm paying you, right? And like, it seems like a super simple thing, but this carries over to everything. Like, I remember when I was younger, I always played sports, right, guys? So great players know their role relates directly to basketball, right? My whole upbringing, I played basketball from like 4 years old to about 24 years old, right? So I played college, I could have went overseas, all of that type of stuff. And really, one of the main things I learned, every level I got better at sports, every level I got better at life, it was like, they would always say, like, great players know their role. Are you a shooter? Do you drive to the basket? Do you finish? What are you good at? When I would do business and I would get mentorships, right? I remember back when I was making $1,000 a month, I remember the first time I made $10,000 in a month, right? And it's like, great players know their role. What is your strong suit in your business? And what are the parts that you need to be covered up by your teammates, right? In sports, your teammates may be a better shooter than you. He may be able to dunk and you can't dunk. In business, you may not be good at cold calling. You may not be good at doing sales, but somebody in your business is good at that. So it's like, great players really know their roles, and that carries over for your whole life. I think that's the thing that stagnates a lot of us. Like, one of the things that I want to work on is saving, right? Like, I'm one of the people who, like, I'll spend tens and thousands of dollars a month. And great players know their role. When I met someone who is good at saving, who's good at accounting, they taught me different things that made me better. So to go on this topic of this video, I think it's really important because a lot of times we get lost in the pursuit of things we want to be. And me personally, y'all look at me, I look a little bit, you know, I'm a black man, right? And I'm from Chicago, right? So one thing about Chicago is, as athletes, a lot of our athletes and a lot of people who are, a lot of our entrepreneurs as well, we get kind of lost in things that aren't our role, right? But I know so many people who are great athletes who end up going to prison or catching a case or losing their scholarship because they can't stop doing drugs, or they selling something with their homies, or they want to hold guns like the drill rappers. Like, it seems like something that's like, bro, why would you do that? But it's like, great players know their role, and it takes your whole life for a lot of us to really, like, let that sink in, bro. Like, you have a power that's bigger than the things in front of you, right? So this kind of carries over with everything, and I know sometimes, like, the last couple videos I made kind of related to women, but I want to make this kind of really, like, roundabout to the whole world and to all of life, right? Like, I've traveled a lot of places, I've met a lot of people from different places, and we all have, like, a different outlook on what's important, right? But great players knowing their role, right? Like, so I know the things that I value in this life. I know the type of person that I want to be. When you let other people's and the things that they want and the things that they see for you kind of dictate your life, it's going to have a negative effect on your potential, right? At the end of the day, if you're watching my channel, if you're watching my type of content, this channel here is about improving, right? Like, the TV channel is about entertainment, right? I saw a really good quote that talked about how if you want to get rich, right? If you want to be successful in this life, rich people solve rich problems. You're going to solve problems. You're probably learning about AI. You're learning about entrepreneurship, business. You want to take care of your family, right? But if you want to be famous, if you want to get a lot of people's attention, if you want to be able to have people follow you almost in a cult-like manner, that's a poor people way of things, right? If you want to really entertain people, poor people love entertainment. So if you do kind of like a poorer task, lower level task, you'll be able to entertain the people who don't have direction, right? So know your role. Are you trying to be strictly business and entrepreneurship? Do you want to be famous and talk about things that don't really matter, right? Some of the most famous people we know, they talk about sports. They talk about music. They talk about these things that really won't make your life any better, but it's easy to keep your brain rolling, to keep you not locked in a sense, right? So you have to know your role. Another thing that goes with that is understanding that when you don't know your role, you'll play yourself out of your position, right? Sometimes you'll be doing things, you'll be with people, you'll be going places, you'll go out at night and go to a block party, you'll go out at night and you'll go hang with somebody who you said you were done hanging with weeks ago. You'll go out and spend money that you could have spent in improving your business and the weak points that we talked about, that you thought about, right? The things you think about, like, man, that's a weak point, put in my business. You could have spent the money on that, but instead you get distracted and you do the things that the people who aren't trying to improve do, right? But if you knew your role and you knew the power that you had and you know that you'll be able to have a positive effect on people, then you would realize, like, man, if I knew my role, I'd be a better person, right? I coach sports and stuff as well. I did some high school sports coaching for a second. Wasn't much of me because I prefer to travel more than that. I prefer to kind of go places and make a more impact on more people versus being in a specific place. But one of the things I learned from that is a lot of times we're moving so fast. A lot of times we're trying to prove ourselves to such a small group of people that we forget that the world is the big picture. A lot of times, like, we got to start thinking big picture. And when you know your role for yourself, and you know your role for the people who are looking up to you, when you know your role for your team, you're able to improve in your role, right? So if you play basketball and you were a shooter, when you go to the gym, you should probably work on being the best shooter you could be. If you know business and you know that posting content ain't making you money right now, if you know developing your product is what's going to make you money in the future, you should probably focus on the thing that's going to make you the money and make that your skill set, right? If you're kind of moving too wide with anything, you can never get anything done. We need to focus on, instead of moving wider, move deeper, right? Did this get your attention or did this get your attention? Right? It seems super simplistic, but that carries over to almost all the things in our lives, right? You have to know your role and know the power and importance that you have in yourself, right? And you have to know that the way that the people perceive you and know how the value in the things that you're saying, know the type of audience that you're trying to reach out to. So one of the things in my business that I do, what am I, other. Okay, so one of the things in my business that I do is marketing, like market research, and you develop people's social media, and then you do brand building, right? You build people's brands. You help them understand what's the reason why people are watching you, right? So as you make content, you may make 1,000 videos and not know why anybody's watching you, but there's always going to be an outlier that shows you, this is what people like to see from me. This is what people like to see from me. This is the type of content that was valuable. Right? Have you ever done something for somebody and you may have done 5 things, but the singular thing that they commented on and were really happy about is the thing that's probably going to add the most value to the next person as well. And that goes with everything. I remember when I would go to different basketball tournaments and I would talk to different college coaches, and I would take into account what are the primary things that the college coaches said I did good. Because yes, I want to improve in the other things, but the glaring strong suit that I have is probably the thing that's going to get the coach to offer me. The glaring strong suit that I have is probably the thing that's going to make me more money. Right? A lot of times when we don't know our role as well, the roles that we have can improve us as people, or not acknowledging and being on the con side and being like, man, I'm going to do all this. can make you worse, right? I have so many friends who, especially being from a bigger city, an inner city, right? I'm from the south side, right? So a lot of people in the city, right, have so much potential as people, and then you realize, like, man, you do things that derail yourself. Right? I have more than 2-3 friends that got laced by doing drugs that they shouldn't have been doing. And they're about to change their life and then change their family's trajectory. And it's like, do you value being impressive to people who don't matter? Or do you value improving your long-term life? When I first started making content, right? Like, I don't care. Like, it would matter who watches the video. But what should really matter is the value that you're bringing. Right? What should really matter is how you help someone improve their life situation. Because we're all living a different life situation. But if you let the things that can improve your life disturb you, or if you let the things that can improve your life derail you, then you played yourself. So know the things that you want out of this life and be ready to improve. Like, an actionable step would be writing down the things that you want to do. In the Bible, it says, write and make plain what you want to have done. Write and make plain your goals, your vision for yourself. That way, every day you wake up, you can look at it and know, this is the trajectory that I'm headed in. And then the worldly things, the things people who don't matter say, will no longer affect you, because you know the things that you're valuing the most. You know the plan that you have. You know the role that you will have in your life. Right? So it's very important to do these things, because you have to know your role, man. And because as time progresses, as you get better, as you get successful, you don't want to still be wondering what type of person that you are. You want to know who you are. You want to know the blueprint that you're following through, so that you can add value to the people who look up to you and value your impact as well, right? So this is just a quick one on the Maso Money Daily channel. Follow all my other channels. Let me know if y'all want more content like that. And let me know, like, what parts of this video added value and bro, y'all take y'all some time and go into deep thought. Like, really think about your role and think about the ways and things that you're doing that can completely derail you. Man, one of the things I learned was, like, bro, I had so many people who are literally kids ruining their lives. Why are you hanging with a gang member when you're about to get a basketball scholarship? Bro, why aren't you outreaching to new clients? You're making $1,000 a month. You could easily make $5,000. Just key in on things that matter. Sports betting. Bro, why are you gambling on something you don't know about? You already made $3,000 this week. It seems like super small things, or maybe a super big thing, depending on the situation you're in life. But it can easily be resolved once you know your role in this life. So if y'all enjoy my content, make sure y'all subscribe. I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm out.